and have come in already. It's so lovely to see you all. I cannot believe that this has arrived. Oh, upside down, upside down.
I can't see you.
You can't see me? My husband's in the other room and he says he can't see me. Can everybody see me? Oh, there I am. I think there was a little bit of a delay there. It told me it had gone live, but it had not. And now I can start seeing your comments coming in. Hello, thank you for joining me once again. Hello, Adam. Thank you. I'm glad that you can see me. There was a little bit of a delay there because my husband showed me his laptop because he is very kindly moderating for me. And so he told me that he couldn't see me. He showed me the laptop and I saw my own face come up. Well, I can see my own face in my phone, which is, you know, I can deal with that. But seeing it twice is very confusing. So, look at what has arrived. I have meticulously covered my postal address, did some fun. He's just come and shown me the laptop again to freak me out. This is what happens when you've been together for well over a decade. And is James safe with the ban hammer? He is a very responsible. He will be a very responsible moderator. He knows to behave himself and well, as much as possible, and he will be very kind with the ban hammer. But everybody has, I mean, touch wood. I've got enough shelving to touch the wood. Whenever I've gone live, this is my third time going live. Everybody has always been very friendly and kind, and I hope that that continues tonight. So, how is everybody? Are we all enjoying some history fun times? I do hope so. There's been quite a bit going on this month so far. I mean, over here in the UK, we've obviously had the Platinum Jubilee. So everybody and their mother has been doing history related stuff, which has been very exciting for me. I've really enjoyed that. It's been great as well because I've been at the palaces and they're back, they're heaving. So it's really nice to see people properly back in the royal palaces. It's nice to see, weirdly, I never thought I'd say this, it's nice to see queues. And principally that is because if there's queues, there's people. And if there's people, there's ticket sales. And if there's ticket sales, there's funding to keep those places looked after. It's warm in Texas, is it? I've heard that it's hot in Texas. It was very warm here last week. I was at the tower last week on the hottest day, and I have never known it to get hot inside the White Tower in all of the times that I have been there. But my goodness, by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the hottest day, it was utterly sweltering inside the White Tower. And bearing in mind, we're talking feet and feet of cairn rock that had managed to heat up. I mean, granted, we did let other human beings in there, so they heated up the place. 41 degrees. Oh boy, howdy. That's, I hope you, but Texans, Americans have air conditioning as standard in your homes pretty much, don't you? Gab, you saw 6 at Hampton Court. I saw all of the promotions about that. I am incredibly jealous. I bet that was an absolutely phenomenal experience. So for those of you who don't know, it's currently the Hampton Court Festival at the moment. So what they have done is in Base Court, which is the first courtyard you enter when you come in through the main gatehouse, they have built a stage and a rake of seating, and they've had all sorts of bands, and they have had 6. I'm not sure it's the first time that the team from 6 have performed there, but what an incredible backdrop for it. I mean, it could not be more fitting, could it, to perform 6 at Hampton Court Palace, a place where, just doing my maths here, all of them would have known, depending on how much time they've spent there. No aircon in San Francisco. Ooh. See, we have been in debates for the last few years about getting an air conditioning unit for just one room, which is our living room, and that is because we own a chinchilla, and anybody who has owned chinchillas, and anybody who's thinking about owning a chinchilla, whatever PetSmart, my husband has pointed out, we adopt a chinchilla. My husband has pointed out that no matter what people tell you, if you go to like PetSmart or Pets at Home, they're going to give you a whole load of gumph about chinchillas and how easy they are to care for. It is a lie from the devil. You can't let chinchillas get cold, but you also can't let them get too hot. You can't let them get wet. You can't feed them the wrong food. They are essentially like gremlins. So everything is dangerous to chinchillas. They can eat too much. They can get gas. Their teeth try and kill them. So it is a hot mess. We love her very much, but one of the things is when the mercury starts to creep up, we do panic. And so we have been thinking about, I mean, this chinchilla has cost us, I think it's got, I mean, if you take out daycare fees, this chinchilla has cost us more than our son in terms of habitat and general care. So we have been considering buying a air conditioning unit, like a movable one, because they're not fitted as standard in the majority of UK properties. So for us to, and you can't use a fan. Anyway, this is about history. I'm rambling on about chinchillas. Thank you all for joining. And there's a few of us here now. So I got posted this. So when you hit 100,000 subscribers, after a little while, it doesn't happen immediately, you get a little message on your YouTube that says you are eligible for a society award. So you apply for it and then they send it to you. And it arrived very quickly, much quicker than many things, including my son's passport, which we have been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've got scissors. That's oddly threatening. Please don't demonetize that, YouTube. Don't take it down. So I am going to not chop off my fingers. I'm going to open this up. I'm excited. So let's boop, 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 boop. I just want to say as well, for everybody who is here currently and who will be watching on the playback, who has either been with me for a while on this channel or who is a relatively new subscriber, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for coming along for this ride. Thank you if you have subscribed, because your subscribing has meant that this has been possible. Thank you all for watching. I'm really incredibly, I don't want to cry, so I'm going to keep this as neutral as possible. I am incredibly grateful that this has become a part of my life, and I'm very happy that you all want to be with me. I've got a lovely letter here. So it says, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th? Yes, absolutely. Do you remember your 1000th? Yes, of course I do. And I of course remember getting to 100,000 because I was on a live. That was my last live. So this is, oh wow. You know what, it's actually, you see them on other people's channels, and it's actually even cooler than I thought it was. Isn't it? Oh, I could have taken that bag off. Didn't need to be torn, but that's what I've done. So, oh my gosh, look at it. Isn't it lovely? There's a mirror there. So maybe I'll do my makeup in it. That's what I mean. It will take a while because there's a triangle in the way. Isn't that amazing? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. How many times can I say I'm excited? I'm excited a lot. I'm big excited. I am going to, for the time being, let's move you. Let's see if it will fit in here. I don't know if it will. No, it won't. I'm going to have to find a good spot for this to live. Maybe I will put a little hook and I'll hook it on the shelves. I might get myself a little, some command strips and put the hook up. My husband has just texted me to tell me that Starbuck would love this. Starbuck is not having the YouTube plaque. I am keeping it. I am showing it off all the time. I don't know what to do now. I'm very excited. I want to go and polish it and put it up and be all. Oh, okay. I'm dithering now. I'm dithering like a lunatic. So I do need some new flat pack, especially for that. And I'm going to build things to go around it. Oh, okay. I'm going to try and calm down because I've overexcited myself. So I, of course, have been. I have been checking out all of the things that have been requested as potential things to do on this channel. I am totally up for doing a live stream where we do maybe a few bookshelves. I mean, this bad boy does sort of start here and it does go all the way across. So it is, and it's got a shelf above this as well. So we may have to do more than one just to chat. I thought that the place behind my shoulder would be perfect, but I don't think it's gonna fit in between the shelves, alas. So it's just a little bit too tall, but I think I could. Maybe if I put it like, the problem is I might have to actually balance it on a shelf, and then I might have problems getting to the books. The conundrum of having such a wonderful thing that you want to show off desperately, but needs its own special little house. For now, you can just perch. Someone said perch it. See, that's all right, isn't it? We'll perch it, and I'll find a place where it's much more visible in video. Look at her. I've decided it's like boats. I've decided it's female. So there we go. She's very shiny. Very shiny. I'm going to have to keep the front part of my room tidy now and the back of my hair neat because you can see it in the mirror. Oh, this is like, it's going to need a good polish. My husband has got his hand up. Oh, he's waving into the mirror. That's what's happening. I wonder what he was doing there for a second. You all right there, love? It's good perching, isn't it? Oh, very nice. So, how long before it's covered in toddler fingerprints? Well, that's a very good question. But here's the thing. This is my office, and this is full of wires and general toot. So we keep this door closed. Now, my son is precocious. And he is not far off being able to get the door handles. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to have to do, because as it currently stands, until he's a little bit older, it wouldn't be safe for him to get in here unsupervised. And in here, there's really nothing. He would not have a good time to, because I'll just be constantly saying, move aside, move aside. So we may have to get, for the time being as well, a potential lock, just to keep him safe, because his bedroom is right next to my office. So once he is weaponised to get out of doors, he is then weaponised to get into everywhere. So he is very cheeky, and he also has he knows no fear, like zero fear does that child have. The baby-proof doorknob covers, I'm going to have to check those out for sure. He likes to climb everything. He is physically very strong. The other day he did a chin up on the open window. Fortunately, it's locked. It's one of those ones which got a kind of hooker, so it doesn't open. A hook, not a hooker. A hook, so it doesn't open up. But so he couldn't get out, but he was still doing chin-ups. It's not even 2 yet. Chin-ups on the window, so that's interesting. Things are being posted out of the window. He likes to pull up all the time. He also he has a little sofa thingy in his room, and he likes to pretend he can jump off that. He's not developmentally capable of jumping. That's not a thing for him yet. He's quite a few months off of that. So what he does is he puts his hands behind him, and then he goes, But his feet don't leave the sofa. He just falls off of it, which he thinks is hilarious. He also thinks anytime he falls over, he finds it hilarious, even when he really, like, he goes down hard. And there have been times where my husband and I have looked at each other thinking, oh, is this the one? Is this the one? But he barely, when he goes down, ever cries. And he just springs back up, giggling, and just starts weaponising along. So we do call him the Terminator because of that. Verena, is that how that's pronounced? Thank you ever so much for the super chat, the little pear. I think it's a dancing pear. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be, but they're very sweet, and it's very, very kind of you to donate to me in that way, and it's completely unexpected and unrequired. So, but I'm very, very grateful. So, at your son's age, my niece was weaponised for handbags. Oh, that's, yeah. That's what Gabriel loves is a phone, or anything that could potentially mimic a phone. So anything rectangular that he can hold to his ear and go hello is his. So remote controls, my phone, his dad's phone. He also likes laptops and tablets, because obviously with everything that's been happening, most of the times that he's seen some of his family has just been on screen. So there are people that he hasn't met yet. He's only ever seen them on screen. So he thinks that his friends live in the computer, I think. So he tries to run away with them, which is suboptimal. But the thing he won't do is sit down and watch anything on a tablet. Like, I have tried to get 5 blissful minutes apiece by putting him in front of Coco Melon or some other, obviously other children's TV programs are available, but he won't. The child, when everyone says limit screen time, I'd love to have I'd love for that to be a problem. this child won't watch TV, won't do it. So I don't want to force him, because that feels counterintuitive, but at the same time, I would like 5 minutes where he can just sit and eat crackers, and I can, go to the bathroom by myself. The thing he does love the most is playing with the ball. So when he's a little bit older and we can turf him outside, he can play with the ball. He loves books, absolutely loves books, but he wants to pull out all of the books and bring it to me. He doesn't really want me to read it. He wants to look through it, but he wants me to watch him. he wants me to watch him read through it. So that's fun. Need a picture of my family. We can definitely do that. I've tended to keep this space for work. I have my wedding photo album behind me, and we have pictures of us elsewhere in the house. Because I suppose I've just kind of naturally separated those two worlds. It does feel like, someone said it feels like just yesterday I brought him home. In some ways, for me too, it feels like it happened in the blink of an eye. But also, and I'm sure that other parents can attest to this, it also feels like he's always been there. So it's really peculiar, because on the one hand, it feels like he's just a blink of an eye and he's here, but on the other hand, I can't remember a single second without him. Nanette, thank you so much. Look at that little fox saying thank you. Oh, that's so cute. And thank you as well for the super chat. That's really incredibly kind of you. It's unboxed. It's unboxed and it's very shiny, and I'm going to try and not put my grubby sticky fingers on it. Where's this? Can I do more about the Woodville family? It's not particularly my area of expertise, so I will definitely have to look into it. They are fascinating, because of course there's the narrative about them potentially being descended from Melusine and having witches' bloods in their veins. So I will definitely look into that some more and make a video about it. Chris, don't blink again, you'll be choosing secondary schools. Yeah, I know, we're already having discussions about what to do about primary school, and that feels terrifying. Toddlers are practically rubber, he'll be fine. Yeah, yeah, it's a good job. He definitely does seem to bounce. The only thing is that his way of displaying displeasure is he does headbutt things. So that's upsetting because it can be very loud. Intrepid Frady Cat, thank you so much for thank you so much for that. That's incredibly kind of you. And getting secure hanging options for my YouTube button. Yes, I will. I'm going to think about something that it is safe so I don't elbow it and knock it down. That's a very good point. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Woodville family coming in again hot. Right, so I will make a note of that. I will look into the Woodville family. The video I filmed today that will be up on Friday, that video is looking at Wycliffe and the potential origins of Reformation. So that's happening next Friday. And the Friday after that is the first of the month, she says. Wondering if that's the truth. It is the truth. That's how time works. Which means, of course, it is a history news roundup. I have got lots of history news headlines. I've got quite a few events, but if anybody from, particularly from the States, Europe, it's essentially anywhere that's not the UK. I've got plenty of UK attractions, English specifically, but if there's other stuff that you've spotted where you are or where you're going, please do send me a link, preferably on Twitter, and then I can chuck it in the event section. Let me see what's happening. Oh, there's been a lot of conversations. Oh, this has gone very quickly. Alison, what's my educational background? Well, I hold a degree in English literature and theatre or drama studies. I have a master's in early modern literature and culture because I specialised in being a literary historian, and then my doctorate is in the same field, but my doctoral thesis looks at, so it's a literary history PhD, but in it, because of the interdisciplinarity, say that 3 times fast, of the institutions that I was working with, it involves economic history. I do some art history in it. I look, as I said, at literary history, material culture. I look at travel and maritime history. So a whole bunch of stuff got chucked in there. And that is my doctorate, 100,000 words on trash. That's my topic. The title is Things Necessary and Unnecessary, Trash and Trifles in Early Modern England. So I talk about the culture and notion of abjection. So why people reject things, what makes people anxious, why they see things as being lacking in value. So that, and the reason for me finding that interesting is that I had always encountered history being done through a lens of why are people doing this, what do they want to achieve, like what's the hope, what is the aspiration, whereas I think what we can frequently miss out is what people want to avoid. Because there are 2 sides to that coin. I believe that we are in part motivated by aspiration and what we want, and then we are in part motivated by running from things that we don't want. Elizabeth, how long does it take me to make a video from idea to publishing? Well, the ideas are percolating my brain box sometimes for weeks and weeks and weeks, sometimes even years. I'm thinking about how I can approach them. I will sit down and do research, write a script. That we're probably talking about, depending on my existing knowledge, between 2 to maybe 3 days working on a script. Then I will film it. Then I will, and that takes usually an afternoon. I try and turn that around after lunchtime to before my son comes back from daycare, and then I edit as much as I can when I have free time, and that is what I do. Yes, you just got here. Bright shiny new play button. You are correct. That's what's happened. That's why we're all here. So it takes me a little under a week to turn around a video. Some take longer, particularly if my subject knowledge is less. So when we're talking about things in the Tudor period, I have a general basis of knowledge about stuff that I can add to it. So I haven't got to necessarily go, well, why is that happening? Because I probably already, no, that sounds arrogant. I may have an understanding of why that thing is happening. So that can take less time. When I start doing things that are medieval, it can take a bit more time, and equally going the other way. My thoughts on becoming Elizabeth. I've had people ask me to do a video on the episodes. I am going to wait. I'm going to, first and foremost, I haven't watched any of it yet because I thought they were going to drop the whole series. They aren't doing that. I like to binge watch things. It's just the way I like to watch things. I like to take a day over the weekend and just watch as many episodes as possible. I also don't want to give my opinion of a entire series, which I believe is 8 episodes, having only seen 2 of them. I'm sure that other people are happy to give episode by episode play-by-plays. I personally feel like the screenwriters and directors and performers have a clear narrative arc in mind that they are intending to play out over 8 episodes. So I'm going to allow them to put out their 8 episodes, and then I'm going to watch it and do a kind of watch video and then have a chat about it. It is not on Netflix. In the UK, you get it through Amazon Prime, through Stars Play. I don't know what Stars is tied to elsewhere in the world. Possibly also Amazon Prime. I'm not sure though. If anybody knows where you can get it, not in the UK, please drop it in the comments. Cindy, would I do a video about Shakespeare? I have done some videos on various Shakespeare plays. So I have those in my back catalogue. So that's already happened. But in terms of like a biography of Shakespeare, that's a fairly hard thing, I think, to talk about, because we don't really have a lot of information about him. It's one of the reasons why people are endlessly fascinated by his plays, because they seem to think they are biographical or in some way a way to unpack the biography. So I probably wouldn't do a biography. I did very, very early doors do a video where I talked about the authorship debate, and the comment section of that was interesting, is the polite way of putting it. So I probably will just leave that as it was, and I probably won't redo the authorship debate. So apparently it looks like Stars is international distribution through Amazon. A video or 2 on the Brothers York. Yeah, I mean, I did talk about Richard III in the context of, is he being framed for the disappearances of the princes? But I can definitely have a chat about more of that. Are there any more no touchy touch TikToks in the pipeline? There certainly are. I've seen some horrendous images on my newsfeed that have made me go, why have we poked that? That's a bad idea. Part of the reason why I haven't made any TikToks is because I was trying to preserve my voice as much as possible to film YouTube videos and also to teach, because in the last live I was starting to lose my voice and it was just horrendous after that. So I just have really been struggling with my voice. I think in the last 2 videos you may have heard how much I was struggling with my voice. So I've laid off the TikTok, but I do want to get back to making some no touchy touches. Also, the moat's open at the Tower of London. I haven't been in the moat yet, haven't had a chance to go and check out the slide. I'm a bit scared. It's pretty high up, but I am going to do it. I'm going to try and film myself going down the slide, but I don't want to promise anything because I have a fear of heights and poor coordination, and I don't want to break my phone. So I'm going to try my best, but that's I will film in the moat, that's for sure. At Shellbell, you love Monarchs Anonymous. I love Monarchs Anonymous too. A new episode got released last night, and hopefully more to come as well. And Dan Jones has new historical fiction. Ooh, interesting, very interesting. History After Dark is still doing live episodes on Wednesdays. I'm not quite sure what this Wednesday's discussion will be. Something. Probably inappropriate. So for those of you who don't know, the other stuff I do on the internet, I maybe, because we're talking about it in the comments, so I will quickly lay out the other stuff that I am involved with. So I am privileged and incredibly lucky to have wonderful friends, talented friends, who in lockdown, we were all interpreters together, and we missed each other because it's being an interpreter is a weird little thing, where it's kind of like being in a theatre company, but it's all day every day. So you have that bond like theatre company actors have, and we miss each other terribly. So they decided that they were going to put together this show. The sitcom essentially is that I play a therapist who is still called Dr. Cat. Dr. Cat is not me, but she is loosely based on me, and she is played by me. So it's just adding the layers and the confusion. And what is happening is I am putting various monarchs, mostly royal personages, occasionally we have got a Shakespeare as well, I am putting them into group therapy on Zoom, and hilarity ensues. So we have 2 series, full series up on the YouTube channel. We have special episodes as well, bonus episodes, and we went into rehearsal and tried to see if we could make this into a live show. And friends, it works as a live show. So hopefully we will be in a position where that could be something that we do as well. Hopefully there's going to be a season 3. I adore those people. I adore making that show, and I'm really proud of it as well. And the people who are behind it are phenomenal. The other thing I'm involved in on Instagram is on a Wednesday at 8:15 GMT PM, we go live, me and my friends Catherine and Philippa, we go live over on Instagram at history.after.dark. I make it a rule on YouTube that I don't swear, because frankly I'm scared of what the algorithm will do if I do swear. But in my real life, I have a filthy mouth and a dirtier mind. So we head over to Instagram 8:15 GMT in the evening, and we let our freak flags fly. It can occasionally be very spicy. We have a lovely time. So if you don't mind if the air occasionally turns a little bit blue, I'm probably one of the worst, but we do tend to blame Catherine, then do check out History After Dark. It won't be for everybody. I know that it won't be for everybody, but it will be for some people. And the full warning is there is quite a lot of swearing. What have I missed in terms of chats? If I could interview and have a cup of tea with anybody from history, who would it be? Just one? Whew. My current favourite at the moment is Beth of Hardwick. I just want to have a chat with her quite a lot. So probably her for now. Could I do a video on entailed estates and situations where women could inherit? I can look into that. I'll be honest, entailed estates, that phrase isn't ringing a bell. I can definitely look into what that would be and the legal situation. I know a bit about women and legal history with the kind of notion of somebody being a femme sole or a femme covert. So we can definitely talk about that, and I'll figure out what an entailed estate is. Can I put all of these sites in the description? Yes, she says. imagining that there is a possibility that I can go back in and edit this after it ends. And I believe that's the case. So I will put the Instagram stuff, and I'll also put Monarchs Anonymous as well. It is on YouTube. It's the Monarchs Anonymous channel, and on Instagram we are at history.after.dark. So those are there, and I will also chuck it in Entailed Pride and Prejudice. I'm not sure. Entailed, like in Pride and Prejudice, where the estate had to pass to the nearest. Oh, I did not know that's what that was called. Right. I will investigate that a little bit, because certainly in the Tudor period, you have women inheriting quite happily. They're from either fathers or indeed from husbands and keeping hold of it. The issue can sometimes arise if they marry, of course, but I can lay that out. Perhaps the entailed estates are a later thing. I don't want to talk, I don't know, so I have to check that out. But in Pride and Prejudice, they are entailed estates. Oh, very well. Tollcross, thank you ever so much for your super chat. That's very kind. Jennifer, are you saying that the entailed estates are a thing of the Regency period? Perhaps you are. I will have a good old check. Alex, you on a bad day smell like a sailor. That sounds like a good day to me. There's a lot to be said for having a filthy mouth. For a start, clumsy, see? For a start, they often say, I believe research has been done, that people who swear tend to be more open and honest. So there is always that to bear in mind. If you've got a filthy mouth, it might mean that you're a more honest and open person. Friends, thank you all. There are nearly 300 of you in here, and I am so incredibly grateful. If I can just ask, I am going to put all of those links in my description box, and hopefully you'll follow them and come see us over on various platforms. So I'm going to start wrapping up now because I've not had my dinner, and that's happened. I'm going to go and figure out. I'm going to go and look at it for a while, and then I'm going to have a takeaway to celebrate. So I am going to make sure I put all that stuff in the description box. I want to say a really deep thanks for you being here, for you subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, do now. Hit a like. Thank you. That would be great. I'm just going to check these last questions. Big up women who cuss like bosses. Thank you. I am. Suppose the people who swear are smarter too. Well, I couldn't possibly comment, but I absolutely agree. I could do a video on Tudor cussing and common insults. I could, but a year or so ago, I did a video on the Rochester poetry, the Libertine poetry, and you can only say cucumber suggestively so many times before people start going, why don't you say the swear words? I don't think YouTube likes swear words, and I like my videos being watched. So I would love to do a video on Tudor cussing, but the thing is, blasphemy is the big deal in the Tudor period, and the 4-letter expletives that children get sent home from school about today are less of a big deal. And entail is a restriction essentially attached to the land, not the person, usually to the eldest son in England. And the concept is very old, it dates before the medieval period. Well, I will have to check that out because it is not something that I have come across. I'll be honest, I have not done a lot of work on bequeaths and wills, save for the fact that everyone talks about how William Shakespeare leaves his wife his second best bed and what that might be. So I haven't looked into. I looked into a lot of inventories, but not wills. Let's see. Anyone else oddly obsessed with the Tudors from a young age? Yes, me. I was very obsessed, and I'm sorry that you missed the live to do because you were working. I am planning on trying to figure out how I can go live in different times whilst, it's not sleepy time for me, so that I can catch as many of you as possible and make it as fair as possible. So I'm going to put some questions up on my community channel. Tracy, Thank you so much for the super chat, and I will keep it up. I'm going to keep making videos and hopefully doing more live streams. I do want to do more, for sure. I have seen some of Tudor Monastery Farm. I think it's brilliant. I love living history. I think it's really valuable. What takeaway we're going to have? I'm something nice. I don't know. We've discussed things. Not pizza. We've had a lot of pizza over the weekend because that's all my son. Whenever we ask him what he wants, he's like pizza. So not pizza. Marjorie Hieronymus, thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm glad that you love the content. And Kathleen as well, thank you so much, and thank you all for your comments as well. Does a dispensation document for Catherine of Aragon survive, and was it really written by Queen Isabella or her clerks? I'm going to have to look into that, because copies were produced and placed in. I'm not sure about the original. I'm going to have to look into that and get back to you. History After Dark sounds very similar to a series called Psycho. I've seen Psycho Bitches. History After Dark is, I think maybe you're talking about how Marks Anonymous, which is the group therapy one, it's different to Psycho Bitches, but when we were talking about it and we started filming it, I went, this reminds me of this. But we also try and bring in things like horrible histories, all of that kind of stuff. The sitcom sounds a bit like the old Meeting of the Minds. I'm not familiar with that. That sounds fabulous. I have to check it out. The chat is jumping like a bouncy thing. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, so lovely. Udon noodles. Oh, that's maybe some sushi with udon noodles on the side might be a good shout. I agree Ruth Goodman is underappreciated because she has an incredible breadth of knowledge, and the practical skills that she brings are quite rare in a historian of her calibre and experience. So I think she is fabulous. And my husband has told me that I've missed some super chats from Marjorie and Kathleen. They've bounced past me. Thank you. I'm sorry I missed them. The chat is going. Do you know what? I forgot something. I forgot to slow down the chat before I started this. Next time, do you know what? Next time I'm gonna write a little list, a checklist of things I have to do before I go live, so that it is easier to follow what's going on. Thank you, Jamie, for telling me about those super chats, and thank you all for giving me those super chats. And any takeaway that isn't on the cheap side is a celebration. After all, my choice would be Chinese. I have to be a bit careful because I have lots of allergies, and so I have a few places that I go to that I know are safe. And we haven't found a Chinese place that can tell me they will not put ingredients in there that might kill me. So the search continues. Shane, do I know Claire Ridgway? Not personally. We move in adjacent, similar circles, but we've never met. She, I believe, lives abroad. I would love to meet her. I really like her work. I've got a book of hers on George Boleyn, which I think is really a great book, and I really enjoyed reading it. So, yes, maybe one day I'll meet her and we can be friends. US lawyer, the entail attaches to the land deed, no will or trust involved. That's why the restriction can last for centuries, though easier to break these days. Okay, so I'm going to have to do some fairly hefty research because those were all words that definitely were a sentence, but I am still a little, small bit confused as to what they might be. Are there any famous Baileys in history? Well, there's the Motte Bailey, which is a castle. So that's the first one that jumps to mind. She lives in Spain. I don't know Kelly Stamps. Either in person or at all, but maybe I should have a look. Bill Bailey, won't you please come home? I don't know what's happened there. But yes, Jamie. Bill Bailey is a famous. He's not really a Bill from history Is he? I did talk about that in my Q&A, whether or not Henry and Catherine Carey were the children of Henry VIII. I can't, no one can say for certain. I believe on the balance of probability, they probably aren't. I think that there is no reason why Henry wouldn't have done something to claim them or to assert that they were his in some way, shape or form. In terms of Elizabeth's closeness to them, I think that that's potentially because they're Boleyn than potentially Tudors. But though that's my opinion, and there may well be evidence that comes out that completely discounts and disproves that assumption, and I would be very happy for that to be the case. Don't know if it was Bailey, but a wrestler in WWE. Well then, there we go. Entails aren't popular in the US or other newer nations. Well, I wasn't aware they were popular here, so this is news to me. Thank you very much for informing me. I think we're saying Bill Bailey looks like a time traveller. Maybe. I can see that. I like it. Bailey's Irish Cream. It is dinner time. Yes, correct. I've waffled on. I told my husband, I promised him I was going to keep it short, and we're creeping up towards an hour again. Friends. Look at her. Isn't she shiny? Oh, she's lovely. Gonna have to get some special polish for her. We will go live again. Maybe it'll be the bookshelf tour. Maybe I'll find something fun for us to do that isn't the bookshelf tour, and we'll save it for another day. We will do something again soon. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm incredibly grateful that you have joined me here for this live. I'm incredibly grateful that you have subscribed, that you watch my other content as well. And I'm going to go and edit this description box and have some takeaway. But I hope you all have, whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I've seen a lot of people say how hot it is. But yeah, I do keep getting distracted. I'm like a magpie. Shiny things. I know it's hot where you are. Please try and stay cool. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. And hopefully see as many of you watching my video on Friday. I will be in the comments when I can be. And I will see you all again very soon. But take care of yourselves. And bye-bye for now.